The door creaked open to a room that smelled of ink and forgotten promises, and there, on the dust-covered desk, sat the typewriter that would rewrite my life, or end it. I arrived at the Whispering Pines cabin just as the sun dipped behind the jagged peaks of the Cascade Mountains. My old Jeep had struggled up the winding gravel road from Leavenworth, Washington, kicking up clouds of dirt that hung in the air like reluctant ghosts. The listing on that budget rental site had called it a secluded writer's haven, ideal for anyone needing to escape the noise of city life. No Wi-Fi, no cell service for miles, just pine trees, a frozen lake nearby, and silence thick enough to drown in. 4.8 stars from 32 reviews. Inspiring, they said. Transformative. One even mentioned finishing a novel in a single weekend. I'm Elena Vasquez, a struggling novelist from Seattle, here to hammer out the first draft of my thriller about a woman trapped in her own mind. Irony would hit me later. The key slid into the lock with a satisfying click, and the cabin welcomed me with a rush of cold air that carried hints of pine sap and something metallic, like old pennies. Everything matched the photos, the stone fireplace, the plaid blankets on the queen bed, the kitchenette stocked with canned goods and a percolator coffee pot. Cozy, isolated, perfect. But as I unpacked my laptop and notebooks, I noticed the door at the back of the main room. The listing hadn't mentioned it, a small office, perhaps? Curiosity pulled me toward it. The knob was brass, tarnished with age, and it turned easily. Inside, the air was stale, heavier. A single window overlooked the darkening forest, and in the center sat a massive oak desk. On it, an ancient typewriter, the kind with clunky keys and a ribbon that looked fresh, as if someone had just threaded it. Beside it, a stack of yellowed paper and a leather-bound journal labeled Guest Notes, Read Before Typing. My fingers itched. I'm a tactile writer, the click-clack of keys has always felt more real than a keyboard. But something about the setup felt off, staged. I flipped open the journal. Entries stretched back to 2018, when the cabin apparently went online as a rental. Neat cursive, blocky print, sketches of trees or wildlife in the margins. Everyone raved, wrote my best chapter here. The quiet sparks creativity. The owners, listed as the Evergreen Trust, were faceless, a P.O. box in Olympia for mail. November 20th, 2025. Sarah Klein arrived for a solo retreat. Typewriter is magical, ideas flow like never before. But heard typing at night when no one's there. Found a story I didn't write. Leaving early. My name is Elena Vasquez. I'm here from November 28th to December 5th, 2025, chasing words. I don't know any Sarah Klein, but her entry nagged at me, the shift in tone, the pen digging deeper into the paper on didn't write. I turned the page. November 30th, 2025. Tom Reyes came searching for Sarah. My colleague stopped responding mid-email. Her car is still here, engine cold. Laptop open to a half-finished manuscript. Called authorities, no signal. Waiting. Tomorrow's date. I skimmed ahead. Entry after entry, dated into the future. People arriving to investigate prior guests, vanishing one by one. Twists of fate drawing them in, a flat tire, a wrong turn, a sudden urge to book the cabin. All ending in dread. The last one, April 12, 2026. Investigation closed. 19 disappearances linked to Whispering Pines. Cabin demolished. Whatever haunts the typewriter, we burned the remains. Pray no one rebuilds. I slammed the journal shut, heart pounding. The typewriter sat silent, mocking. Outside, wind whispered through the pines, but inside, the air felt charged. I hadn't heard any typing yet, but the door to this office, I swore I'd left it closed when I entered. Now it stood ajar, a sliver of shadow spilling out like ink. That's when I noticed the folded note tucked into the typewriter's platen. Crisp edges, but paper aged like parchment. I unfolded it carefully. Elegant script, faded but legible, guidelines for users of the Evergreen typewriter. Observe before sunset. I glanced at my phone, no bars, time 4:32 p.m. Dusk came early in late November, the mountain swallowing light by 5. The guidelines were listed 1 to 7. Do not type in the journal until departure. Sign out only when leaving safely. If you hear keys clacking between midnight and dawn, do not enter the office. Light the candle on the desk and let it burn till morning. The portrait above the desk depicts Harlan Evergreen. If his expression changes to a frown, exit the cabin at once. Abandon possessions. Around 3 a.m., you may hear whispers from the vents, reciting your secrets. Do not reply. Do not listen closely. They know your regrets better than you. Should you find typed pages dated after your stay, do not read beyond your own date. Shred them immediately. Scatter ashes in the lake. The typewriter creates what it types. Use it sparingly. Fiction only, no names, no real events. If you break a guideline, type your confession on a fresh sheet before dawn. Honesty may spare you. Deception feeds it. I reread number 5, Pulse Racing. I'd already scanned dozens of future entries in the journal. See names, dates, dooms. If these guidelines were real, and the chill crawling up my spine suggested they might, I'd violated a core one. The sun was sinking fast, painting the office in bruised oranges and purples. Outside, my Jeep sat under a blanket of pine needles, keys in my pocket. I could leave. Drive back to Leavenworth, find a motel with Wi-Fi, laugh this off as cabin fever. But I'm a writer. Stories like this don't let go. The contaminated river scandal I exposed in Tacoma 3 years ago? I stayed when others fled. The Ghostern memoir fraud that tanked a publisher? I dug deeper. Running isn't my style. Besides, I'd broken guideline 5. If the rules held weight, I needed to confess before dawn, which meant staying. I searched the desk drawer, a bundle of dried pine needles for smudging, matches, a small silver key with no obvious lock. No shredder, but the fireplace would do for burning pages if needed. I lit the pine needles, smoke rising sharp and resinous, waving it around the office like some amateur sage ritual. Felt silly, but desperate too. The typewriter remained still. No clacking. But when I turned back to the desk, a fresh sheet of paper was rolled into the platen, words typed in crisp black ink, November 28, 2025. Elena Vasquez arrived alone. Read the futures. Lit the pine. Stayed when wisdom said flee. The ink gleamed wet, drying before my eyes. I hadn't typed that. My hand shook as I yanked the page out. The paper felt heavier, older. I crumpled it, tossed it into the fireplace upstairs, watched it curl to ash. But doubt lingered. The portrait above the desk, Harlan Evergreen, I assumed, was an oil painting of a stern man in 19th century attire, mustache waxed, eyes piercing. His mouth was neutral, not frowning. Yet. I lit the candle on the desk, its flame steady, wax scented with vanilla and something bitter. Writer's research. The cabin had a bookshelf in the main room, dog-eared mysteries, trail maps, a faded copy of Walden. At the bottom, behind stacked magazines from the 90s, a shoebox labeled Evergreen Archives, donated to Leavenworth Historical Society, 1992. Never collected. Inside, letters, sepia photos, clippings, a cloth-bound diary eerily similar to the guest journal. Stamped HE 1889. Harlan Evergreen's diary. Handwriting matched the guidelines, precise, slanted. I opened to a middle page, candlelight flickering. April 7, 1889. The machine has claimed another. Elias Ford, the logger from Index, typed his tale and vanished by morn. I told him the rules, but curiosity kills more than cats. I am its scribe now, as father was. The typewriter always scribes. Pages flew under my fingers. July 15, 1889. Learned the truth, what is typed manifests, but only if typed by the machines chosen. Guests may read and see fates, but only I direct. Mother tried to intervene once, the machine typed her accident that night. Found her at the lake's edge, arranged as described. October 22, 1889. A traveler from Seattle asked too much. Read ahead in the journal. The machine is typing her now, in script not mine. Whose fingers guide it when it self-writes? I fear to know. A gust rattled the window. The office door widened, shadows lengthening. I kept reading, compelled. December 31, 1889. Comprehension dawns. The typewriter doesn't foresee, it forges. Typed words become reality because the typing wills it. Escape lies in rejection. Don't read ahead, don't type prematurely, don't let it mimic your style. The guest journal on the desk flipped open unaided. My entry stared back. Elena Vasquez arrived, stayed when wisdom said flee. The machine had captured my voice, terse, journalistic. I recalled the futures I'd read: Sarah Klein, Tom Reyes, 19 total vanishings by April 2026. Not predictions, instructions. The typewriter was crafting a chain, one disappearance luring the next. The office door groaned, opening fully. From the vents, a faint whisper, too soft to discern. Time check, 6:15 p.m. Full night cloaked the pines. I wasn't running. Not yet. If Harlan's diary held truth, those futures were set because I'd witnessed them. The machine used readers to see ahead, then made it so. To break it, perhaps destroy the source. But the April entry mentioned burning remains. Someone tried, succeeded partially. Harlan's portrait caught my eye. His mouth, had it curved down? No, still neutral. But watchful. Wind howled, shaking the cabin. From the office, a clack. Then another. Typing. Rule 2, don't investigate midnight typing. But it wasn't midnight. I grabbed the candle, approached. The typewriter keys depressed alone, paper advancing. Words formed, November 30, 2025. Tom Reyes arrived seeking Elena. Found her jeep, her notes, her blood on the keys. Called help. No answer. Tomorrow. The machine was accelerating. I needed to confess per Rule 7. But typing would let it claim my style fully, bind me. Harlan's warning, it binds when you type. Hello? I called into the office. Writer's instinct, probe, question. A pause. Then the keys clacked. You've been reading, Elena. Not a question. Intimate, knowing. I confess, I said aloud. I read beyond my date. Broke Rule 5. Clack clack, confession demands keys. Voice fades. Shall I type for you? Harlan's diary echoed, it binds when you type, or when it types as you. No. I'll find my way. Laughter? The keys rattled in rhythm, mocking. Harlan said the same. Want to see his price? A shape materialized in the office corner, pale, suited, mustache like the portrait. Harlan evergreen, moving fluidly, unnaturally smooth. He stepped into candlelight. Skin like parchment, eyes hollow. Teeth inked with tiny script, shifting. The only query now, aid the machine's hunger or join its tails? The office door slammed. Locked in with him. Hours till whispers at 3 a.m. I had to play smart. Harlan stood, air warping around him. Small man, but presence immense. You're terrified, he observed. Wise. Guests delay fear. The guidelines shield from the machine's reach at night. Not from me. He tilted his head. I am what lingers of its first flawed scribe. Flawed? I tried to end it, sacrificed to contain. Now bound, voiceless but for rules. Ghost? Consequence. He glided to the desk, hand phasing through wood. For 136 years, watched it lure, type, devour. Can't halt, can't mourn fully. Machine erases my notes. Rules alone persist, because they bait participation. Twist, rules don't save, they engage, feed it. Why reveal? Sorrow crossed his face. I was 28, dreams of novels, love and Leavenworth. Machine stole all. Keepers lose futures, names erased save in pages. I can save you, break chain. Save post you arrivals. How? Machine forges witnessed futures. You saw 19, now fixed. But limits, can't type unseen, claim non-engagers. I'd engaged. Read ahead. For witnessed, yes. But not typed yet. Your entry? Mimic, not bind. Marked, not claimed. Difference? Marked can flee. Claimed? Folded into tales, existence inked till words alone remain. Confessions the snare. Type, claimed. Don't? Machine types your end gradually. Trapped. His terms? Smile, teeth script grateful. Found end method, lacked bravery. Machine never authored, only scribes, pray. Seize narrative, author it. Rewrite the story? Unknown if works. Never tried. Feared typing. Chose half-life instead. Clock, 8:12 p.m. dawn far. To rewrite, no origin. What's under the floor? Fear in his eyes. Must descend. A trapdoor under the desk, revealed when pulled. Stairs to cellar, dark as void. Candle shrank. Stay near. Cellar echoes past users. Ignore illusions. Down, dirt floor, low beams. Shelves of typewriters, dozens, identical, ancient to near new. Each a cycle. When ribbon exhausts, seals, new begins. 2 centuries hunger. Count, 50-ish. Thousands claimed if each held hundreds. 6,017, time to tally. Deeper, stone wall, carved, I, Miriam Evergreen, bind this machine to blood and soil. My words eternal, shaping world, remembered till peaks fall. Sealed in sorrow, sacrifice. 1853. My great-grandmother, first scribe. Why? Miriam fled Oregon Trail horrors, widowed, childless but one. Learned folk binding from natives, twisted to ensure legacy. Typed guests' futures for evergreens gain, bounties, alliances, debts gone. Escalated. Fed on altered fates, stolen possibilities. When take lives? Grandfather's era, 1890s. Guest defied, tried smash. Machine typed death first. After, crave dance over influences. Why continue? Bound to blood, land. Leave, unbound, wild. Grandfather left 1910, avalanche killed 200 in Wellington. Natural. Not. Trapped, manage or unleash. But option, I sealed source. Wall section, boarded. Behind, original machine, sacrifice components. Sacrifice? Miriam had son, 5. Bound required beloved. His bones there, with machine that ate him. Cellar colder. When severed scribe roll, thought seal with original suffice. Guard. But machine evolved, self-types, self-hunts. You hear. What if rewrite original's terms? Not guest copy, root. Original untouched since 1853. May not open. But perhaps. Claim risk. But author versus victim, difference? Gamble. House rumbled. Time short. Tools in corner, hammer, crowbar. Can't aid physically. Save strength. I hammered boards. Wood splintered, smell ancient release. Opening, cavity, box with carved text, bones beside, child's, arranged. Box opened, original typewriter, compact, leather-wrapped, warm. Open it. First plate, blank. Second, this machine records must be. Recorded becomes truth. Third, names, thousands. Top, Jasper evergreen, 5, given to seal. Pages, forged fates, explicit. Strategic, adaptive. Rental listing? It's lore. Rewrite where? End blanks. Miriam's terms front. Supersede. Above, door battered. Shapes descending, ink shadows. Bloodline first. I'm last. Release me, dissolve anchor. I typed, Harlan evergreen freed from bind. Soul passes. Bloodline severed. Shift. Harlan solidified, faded gently. Land next, machine unbound from whispering pines, land. Connection dissolved. House wailed, shelves toppled, typewriters spilling ribbons like veins. Hunger, machine no longer forges futures. Records passed only. Hunger ends. Souls released. Darkness engulfed. Faces, voices, 6017 demanding witness. Typed on, Jasper released. Sacrifice over. All names freed. Dead pass, living safe. No future without consent. Machine closed. Power broken. Mere metal, ribbon. Dark recoiled. Voices grateful, dissipated. Harlan, solid, young. You did it. Over? Peace. I go beyond. Faded, lavender scent lingering. Upstairs, journal blank. Futures erased. Waited past dawn. Nothing. Burned originals with local wise woman later. Investigation followed, bones buried. Article written, but true tale locked away. Some machines don't record, they create. Brave pen rewrites freedom.